good people, how you doing? This is episode 26 of 254 Rugby, and this episode is dedicated to the Kenya Lionesses. On Sunday, 2nd of March 2025, they emerged victorious in the opening round of the 2025 World Rugby Challenger Series, which is the qualification pathway for the 2026 World Rugby Sevens Series. A big win in terms of the magnitude. It actually puts them in good stead to be among the top four teams heading into the playoffs later on in May. A big win because it is women's rugby that this time round, which is putting us on the spotlight. A big win for the coaching staff, for the players, for the Kenya Rugby Union as well, who have been the team that actually the organization that actually gives them the opportunity to play. And the way we're going to do this episode is going to be different. Just going to talk about the Lionesses and the win. For me, I feel that the 17-12 win over Argentina in the final, let's not talk about the matters on the field of play, but more the impact that it has. It is a statement win. You see, it's more than just lifting a trophy. I believe that it is one that should further chart the way forward for women's rugby in Kenya. Let's look at it this way. There have been plenty of challenges stacked up against the Lionesses over the years. These challenges have played a great role in hindering their growth and success on the international stage. You see, unlike the men's teams, Shujaa, that's Kenya Sevens, and the Simbas, who are the Kenya 15s, who have historically enjoyed greater visibility and support, the Lionesses have, in comparison, had to fight for recognition in a landscape that, let's face it, often sidelines women's rugby. The path to victory for the Lionesses has been anything but easy. Until they recently benefited from a shirt sponsorship from mobile money service providers of M-Pesa, which is run by Safaricom. The Lionesses, and I've been there to witness this, have operated with minimal resources, frequently lacking proper equipment, training facilities, and playing venues that meet, international standards. Many other times, their preparations for major tournaments have been constrained by financial limitations. We've seen the players train under less than ideal conditions. Now, in terms of coverage of the women's game in Kenya, from the media, it has been sparse. And what's the effect of this? It limits their visibility and potential sponsorship opportunities. While the men's events, let's name them Kenya Cup, National Sevens Circuit, Safari Sevens, and the international test matches all get good coverage, the women's game struggles to get attention. And I feel that this lack of consistent storytelling around the Lionesses has made it difficult for the team to attract the corporate backing needed to sustain and develop the sport. Now, away from that, we also have things that we all know. Cultural and societal attitudes towards women in contact sports. These have been a significant barrier. Look, rugby is traditionally viewed as a male-dominated sport. It has not always been embraced as a viable pursuit for women. Many players have had to overcome the stigma and resistance, and proving that they belong on the field just as much as their male counterparts has really been a hard battle for them to fight. From where I sit, the Lionesses' victory in Cape Town is more than a trophy. It is a statement. It showcases the gold mine that there is in Kenyan women's rugby, proving that with the right support, they can compete and triumph on the world stage. Again, from my armchair, I think that this win should serve as a wake-up call for stakeholders in the sporting and corporate sectors. Heck, it presents a golden opportunity for brands and organizations to step up and invest in women's rugby. Sponsorship and funding should and could transform the game by improving training conditions, expanding the grassroots programs, and ensuring the Lionesses have the resources to maintain their competitive edge. More broadly, the Lionesses' triumph highlights the importance of investing in women's sport in general, Because if you look at women's sport, there is an abundance of female athletes, not only in rugby, in basketball, in athletics, in soccer. We recently saw the Harambee Starlets go to Tunisia, pull off the 1-0 win, and advance to the next qualifying stage in the WAFCON, which is the women's AFCON qualifiers. And the I think the biggest struggle for all of these women's teams and women's sport in general is inadequate finance and structural support. Um, to the corporates again, by backing women's rugby and other women's sports, you have the chance to be part of a movement that fosters gender equality, athletic excellence, and national pride. Um, Back to the Lionesses, they have set the stage for a new era in Kenyan rugby. Now it's up to the stakeholders led by the Kenya Rugby Union and other federations, sponsors, fans, and the media to build on this momentum and ensure that women's rugby gets the recognition, the support, and the investment it truly deserves. The victory in Cape Town, I think for me, is just the beginning of what could be an even greater success story. Of course, it could be a great success story if it has backing from all the sources. But keep in mind, we don't want to see a retrogression akin to what happened to Shuja after that famous win in Singapore in 2016. That was quite a meltdown. Yeah, that was my comment on the Lionesses. And just because, like we said today, we start the show by, you know, by dedicating it to them. Um, they actually did the country proud, and they still have another leg. It's not as if the event is over. There's still one more competition in Cape Town again this weekend, and they will be looking to build on that and go for another win. They are pooled with Uganda and Belgium in Pool A. And the target is obviously to finish as far as possible and maintain that push for a top four finish and go to the playoffs in Los Angeles in May. And for the Lionesses, what can we say? You have made us proud. You are winners. And congratulations once again. A round of applause from yours truly. Now, we had action over the weekend in the Kenya Cup. It was a penultimate round of fixtures in the league phase of the competition. And here are the results on the screen. Let's just look at them. And what a weekend it was. There was the game of the weekend in Nakuru, the Oilers restricting Cabras Sugar to a non-bonus victory. This is the second weekend in a row. Remember, Cabras had on match day 9 defeated Nondescript 7-3 in Kakamega, and then they rallied to defeat the Menengai Oilers by 14 points to 20. Leaders KCB, on the other hand, 69-9 winners over Impala. Kenya Harlequin against Kisumu. That was an entertaining match, competitive from minute 1 to minute 80. Both teams getting bonus points for scoring 4 tries. Queens, however, emerging victorious with the 36-22 result over Kisumu, who are fighting for survival in the Kenya Cup. And then at the Ngong Racecourse, Nondescripts defeated the South Coast Pirates by 50 points to 29. Again, in this high-scoring match, both teams getting bonus points. The Pirates scoring 4 tries, same as actually 5 tries, while Nondis, they put in 50 points on the board, obviously scoring more than 4 tries. At the Kenyatta University, the clash between Black Blood and the Strathmore Leos, 39-31. Well, it was a varsity derby and therefore proved to be feisty. And you can see 70 points shared between the two sides. And then in Nakuru, home side Nakuru RFC registering a third win on the trot, and I believe that with this victory they are safe from relegation, defeating Mwamba by 32 points to 27. Big result for Nakuru as it lifts them, I think, up to 8th. The standings, I'm just gonna pull them up in a minute, lifts them up to 8th and in relative safety. Let's just look at the standings before we go into the fixtures for match day. Before we go into the fixtures for match day 11. And this is what the Kenya Cup log looks like after match day 10. KCB Rugby have played 10, won 10, collected 5 bonus points. They're on 50 points. Kabras Sugar, the defending champions, 2 points behind. Their last 2 matches have seen them win, but without bonus points. Menengai Oilers slumping to a second defeat, this time at the hands of Kabras Sugar, third on 42 points. Nondescripts are fourth on 34 points. Kenya Harlequin fifth on 32 points, while KU Blackblood round off the top 6 on 26 points. And if you just look at that, these teams have built a buffer between them and the rest of the teams in the league, and that means that they will be featuring in the playoff. Actually, if you look at it, the teams marked in green will play in the quarterfinal playoffs, and then KCB and Kabras Sugar have secured home semi-finals. That should be interesting to watch. Now, at the bottom of the log, the South Coast Pirates getting a bonus point. They will be looking for victory in their final game of the season, but they play against the Menengai Oilers. I think it's safe to say that the Pirates have been relegated back to the KRU Championship. The question is, who goes down with them? Definitely is not Nakuru, definitely is not Impala, because 15 is the magic number in terms of survival. And therefore, 3 teams fighting for survival. They are the Strathmore Leos and Kisumu, tied on 13 points, but you can see the points difference there, seeing the Strathmore Leos in 9th, while Mwamba, champions of the Kenya Cup in 1983, are 10th on 12 points, and they will be fighting for their life this weekend when they take on the opponents, Kenyatta University Blackblood, in match day 11, the final round of action in the league phase of the 2024-2025 Kenya Cup. Here are the fixtures coming up for match day 11 in the Kenya Cup. Impala versus Nakuru. This is 7th against 8th. And like we said earlier on, Impala and Nakuru relatively safe from the jaws of relegation. You just feel that Nakuru, with the momentum that they have, will be looking to make it 4 wins on the trot. And they certainly have the personnel. And I'm calling this one for Nakuru. Mwamba versus Blackblood. Oh, wow. Mwamba. They took the game to Nakuru. That game, as we saw in the previous slide, ending by 32 points to 27, 5 points separating the two sides. They know that they must win against Blackblood to secure Kenya Cup status for another season. Can they pull it off? I think they can, but who's going to win this game? You know, there's thinking and being certain. I think for me, I will go with Blackblood for the victory. Strathmore Leos against Kenya Harlequin. Just like Mwamba, Strathmore is also fighting for survival, and they're at home to Kenya Harlequin in Madaraka. This game, Queens, you just feel they are on a bounce. They had lost 4 games in a row. They've recovered to defeat South Coast Pirates and Kisumu, and they will be going for a 3rd win to give them the momentum as they go into the playoffs. Now, Kisumu versus Nondis, this match in Kisumu. Playing in Kisumu is always difficult, and we did see the fight from Kisumu as they took on Kenya Harlequin. Nondis, it will be worth noting, went to Kakamega a fortnight ago, restricting Kabras Sugar to a 7-3 result. They will be fancying their chances against Kisumu. And, my heart tells me Kisumu for this game, but my head tells me Nondis, so I'll go with Nondis. And for the Strathmore Leos versus Queens game, that one, giving it to the Kenya Harlequin. South Coast Pirates versus Menengai Oilers. You just feel that the Menengai Oilers will obviously be looking to turn things around and probably give their fringe players a run when they go down to the South Coast, but it doesn't mean that they will be any less potent. They are looking for another win to curb a run of 2 defeats on the bounce, and they are looking like favorites to win that game at the Seacrest grounds in Diani. Now to the match of the weekend, Kabras Sugar versus KCB in Kakamega. Like we said, Kabras have had the 2 tougher fixtures over the past 2 weekends, restricted by Nondi 7-3 and then rallying to defeat the Menengai Oilers by 20 points to 14. And they meet a KCB side that is on fire, that has blitzed all its opponents left, right, and center. But I just feel that for this one, Cabras, with the luxury of playing at home, with their recent record over KCB, the fact that they have not lost a game in the Kenya Cup since February of 2022 puts them as favorites to win what should be a tightly contested match. Could this be the final before the final? Probably, who knows? And then also remember there's a best of 3 series between these two sides, because they're also gonna meet in the Enterprise Cup semi-final. And should they emerge victorious in their semi-final fixtures, they will again face off in the Kenya Cup. Well, that's it. That is the Kenya Cup match day 11 roundup. Not roundup really, but preview. And as we leave, once again, like we said, this episode dedicated to the Kenya Lionesses, who won the opening round of the 2025 World Rugby Challenger Series in South Africa. And en route to defeating Argentina in the final, they got rid of one hoodoo, which was South Africa, and they defeated South Africa, where they defeated them in Cape Town by 19 points to 15. It was a come-from-behind win that gave them the results. And, something that Coach Dennis Mwanja had talked about. And just want to take you back to that interview with Dennis Mwanja, which was in... that interview was in December. No, it was in November 2024, after the Rugby Africa Women's Sevens final, where South Africa narrowly defeated Kenya.
I'd say generally, in summary, a successful outing, because the targets were met, were set out. We didn't hit the target we wanted, but at least we qualified. The way to the qualification was tough and tricky, because the pool played against the hosts. Hosts Ghana were plucky for us, and Madagascar were tricky because we were not in our rhythm. The players who were the tried and tested players were the ones who were in America. That is Grace, Stella, Judy, and Christabel were in America, so they were the core team. So they did not click after the first game, and I kept my faith in them, because I know they're the ones that have played in the top level, in the Challenger and also in the repechage. It paid off, because on the second day, meeting Ghana again, we were already on our rhythm. But also semis again against Uganda. Winning combination cannot be changed, so I kept my faith in them. I ended up beating Uganda and reaching the finals. And so our target, definitely, to be honest, was to win this. We had set our sights on beating everyone. So they want results really misled people, because I was reading social media and also looking at comments and things. People thought we're going to struggle, but as a coach of this team, I know the capabilities of the girls. Yeah, we know each other. We know very well what we can do, what we're capable of doing. And this year we've promised each other. This year is going to be a very awesome year when we break and go through to the next level. But when we meet South Africa next time, there's no escape. You see, the introduction of Faith, who's a new discovery, is also a shot in the arm for the team. With such young players being blooded into the game, it assures us of a very realistic future. Look at Phoebe, who's recovering from surgery. She's 23. Faith is 23. So look at that age, 23 years, getting in. And also there's Nelly Chikombe, who's also coming back from maternity. So, and all of them are 6 feet and above. So look at the future for us. So we look forward to the Challenger, the venues. It's an open secret. South Africa will be given a double leg. And it will be awesome to capture them, arrest them at home in their backyard in front of their children and their parents.
Yeah. So those words from Dennis Mwanja eventually turning out to be prophetic after the first leg of the 2025 Challenger Series in Cape Town, South Africa. The Lionesses will be in action again this weekend, and if you can, support them. The matches will be relayed live on Rugby Pass, and to those who are able to be in South Africa and watch the team play, well and good. Signing out. This has been episode 26 of 254 Rugby. We'll catch you again next time. See you later.